right, thanks everybody for joining us for our 2017 Ball State Basketball Media Day. I'd also like to thank Coach Sallee, Moriah, Monaco, Frannie, Frazier from our women's basketball program for joining us today. As a reminder, we're streaming live online, so if you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, and you can ask your question. But we'll start by just asking Coach to start off with an opening comment, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thanks, Tyson. Kind of crazy that this day's already here. Seems like we were just finishing up down in Bloomington last year, and so here we are again. Thanks everybody for coming out. It's an exciting time of the year, and I think the players are at a point now where they're ready to probably start playing games and quit listening to me as much. But you know, I like this group. We've been pretty dedicated and hardworking group from the time the season ended last year, and I think it starts with this senior class, you know, with Moriah and Frannie and Destiny Washington, that you know, they just made a decision that they were going to make some changes with the way some things were going on, and you know, they wanted a lot out of their senior year, and I think to their credit, they led very well this off season. We had some new kids in the program that followed along, and we ended up having a really good summer and preseason. And so now getting into practice, it's fun to just see how it's all coming together. You know, for the first time in a long time, this is, I guess, starting year 6, hard to believe, but for the first time in a long time, you know, I'm not going in with a lot of preconceived notions as to what we're going to look like. I really am excited to see how it comes together. I think we're extremely versatile. We're almost positionless at times. And so now the fun for me is going to be moving the chess pieces around, figuring out different ways to use Frannie's strengths, Moriah's strengths, Destiny's strengths, Carmen's strengths, and fit those new kids in. And I think we've got a ton of talent, and I'm excited to see what it looks like. And they've been fun to coach, and at times a little bit challenging, but that's what this is all about. So we're excited to get it going and start into the scrimmage portion of what we're doing. We're excited to get into the exhibitions and really see what it looks like under the lights. I think they're excited to see what it looks like, and you know, now we're just trying to get as healthy as we can be coming into the beginning of the season and tip it off before it's here. It'll be here for long. So, like I said, this team has a real fun energy about it. They're not shy about playing hard. They're not shy about playing tough. I think you'll see those consistencies remain, but I think you'll see a little bit different brand of Brady ball, so to speak, and we're looking forward to getting it started.
Questions?
Even though it's early, what would you say would be the biggest difference to you so far of last year's team to this year's team?
Well, clearly, you know, just with personnel, you know, we don't have 6'5" Renee Bennett down on the block. You know, we've got a little bit of size that we brought in with the transfer and Carrie Kleist, but you know, she's new to what we're doing, and it would be unfair to her to say, well, you're just going to do what Renee did. So now what you're looking at is a very long, athletic team. We can put a group out there 2 through 5 that almost looks the same in stature. Big, long, athletic, and because of that, the versatility and where we can play them, you know, these two you could see in one offensive set be in 4 different positions on the floor. And that's really hard to guard. I think they're understanding it. They're starting to see what I'm thinking a little bit, and it's looking good at times. So, you know, and you think about the Renees, the Jill Morrisons, the Kaylin Jose's, that class that was really a big part of our core that has set the culture and really got this thing going. And you know, it just seemed like year after year they were back. Well, now they're not, you know, and so we've become so accustomed to seeing Jill's energy and her ability to shoot the ball. We're, you know, seeing Renee's dominance down on the block. Well, now that's not going to be there. And I think there's some players that are excited to step up to those challenges, and now they see it as their time. But there's clearly some apprehension too, because you've gotten so used to those two and their production. You've gotten so used to Kalen Jose being able to lock down somebody on the defensive end, and so now roles may get redefined a little bit, and the way we play may look different. But I think we're all pretty confident that the results will still be the same.
Moriah and Frannie, talk a little bit about some of those changes that you guys wanted to implement as being senior leaders that Coach mentioned.
We had our team meeting with just like our team and no coaches around, and we listed about like 5 or 6 roles that we came up with as a team. Some of them were like being 15 minutes early to things, or just like trying to do necessary work, like put in time in the gym and stuff like that, just so that we know that when somebody else comes in and it's their time to take a shot, that they're going to make the shot, or it's different stuff like that. We just really want to be more as one, I think, as a team. And we really implemented that this summer, I think, and worked on our team bonding and a lot of stuff off the floor as well as on the floor, too.
Just to go off a little bit what Moriah said there, with having a new team, it's important to know who we have on our team. Like he said, we're used to having Benny and Jill and Kaylin come back year after year, and I actually came up with them, so I know how it goes to have them around all the time. So with this new group, it is different, and we do have new pieces. So we are still learning each other. So it's just something I'm excited about leading up to the season.
Brady, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but are you sick of the NIT yet?
Yes.
And what does this team have to do to kind of get over that hump?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I don't know if this scares you or not, but you and I think alike, apparently. We never want to take it for granted. So, I'm always careful how I answer it and how I address it, because at the end of the day, it's a special opportunity to have success and be invited to play in the postseason. But I believe that our program is at a different place now. And like I said, we are never going to take the postseason for granted, but our goals are bigger. And, I've never been a huge goal guy. You can ask them. We don't sit down and have the goal meetings and all that baloney. I just think you go to work and you understand that the byproduct is based on what you put into it. So it's simple for me. You've got to train your mind right. You've got to train your bodies right. You've got to go about it the right way in practice and earn your way to the NCAA tournament. This league is ridiculously competitive, and you've seen year after year people that no one even mentioned win the thing and go represent. And so it's not easy, but if it was easy, everybody'd do it. And so our sights are set solely on playing in the NCAA tournament, and I think you said it probably exactly the way I feel about it. And sick is a good word, and it believe me, in the summer it keeps me up at night, because I've had teams, clearly we've been good enough to be there the whole 5 years I've been here. And we've had our chances, and we've got to break through, and that's going to be a big step for our program. But it's one that we're capable of, and I think excites these young ladies.
You always talk about outside of coaching being your number one priority. 2 of the biggest things you do every year is recruit and build a schedule. What was the thought process behind building this schedule?
It's the same as it's always been. We try to challenge ourselves. Part of it is trying to prepare yourself for the postseason. I think one thing that's always important for a team in the MAC is to make sure that you play some people that are going to look like teams you'd play in the postseason. So when you get to the postseason, you're not wowed by the size or athleticism. Playing in tough venues is always, I think, important. So, being able to go play at Vanderbilt, being able to keep playing Purdue home and home is important. Listen, folks, Western Kentucky may be the best team on our schedule. They're good, and we've got a great series, and I think both programs are appreciative of one another being willing to continue to play it. And that's where the challenge in scheduling has come to us is, a credit to these players. A lot of people don't want to play now, and so early on when I made a phone call, everybody picked up their phone and, it wasn't if, it was, hey, win and let's do it. And now, everybody's full and everybody's busy. And so that becomes quite a challenge. I think it's important, too, to try to play as many in-state schools as we can, and that's getting tougher and tougher. So we appreciate the Butlers and the Purdues being willing to play and continue those rivalries. So, and then I think lastly, you look at style of play. We picked up some new games with the Cleveland State home and home, the Missouri State home and home. They play a system that's similar to what we're going to see in our league and what we have to beat in our league. So that was an important piece also. Recruiting never stops. I think I'm really excited about the freshman group we have right now. I think you guys are going to see them play early and often, and